Good evening. So I wanted to do another short video on my G-Shock GWG-1000 Mudmaster. Some might term this video a damage report in inverted commas, but the irony is that despite having owned this watch for almost 5 years, what is absolutely remarkable to me is that there is virtually zero damage. I've used it hard. I've taken it on virtually every holiday I've been on. I'll use it on the beach, I'll use it in salt water, I'll use it rock climbing, I'll use it when I'm doing any car mechanics, I'll use it on assault courses, I'll use it canoeing, kayaking, during kettlebell workouts, CrossFit workouts. It is just amazing to me that as I run through these photographs here, you'll see there's not a shred of evidence that anything has actually been damaged. What I did want to do is highlight a few surface abrasions. Here you can see on the buckle, on the strap, there is some very light scratching there. But to be honest, I know that that could come out with a very, very simple polish, and it could be looking virtually as good as new. You'll notice there's no degradation, no perishing of the strap where it goes onto the clasp there. You'll see that this mechanism works absolutely perfectly. Where the rubber strap meets the metal clasp there, you'll see kind of an oblong circular shape either side in the rubber. That's how it came out the factory. It's nothing to do with any damage it's received. Again, very, very close up on where the buttons are on the sensor side and the screw as well. The material they've used to make this watch makes it seemingly impervious to any visible damage. The other side of the watch there, where you have the crown, you'll see a little bit of white staining between that top button and the screw, and that is simply, to be honest, that is simply accumulation of salt water and suntan lotion, which I've been too lazy to work off, and doing this video has made me realize I need to do more cleansing of my watches. But yeah, you know what? I like these battle scars. I like the fact that it looks used, because it is used. It's used virtually every day. I did a 1 hour, 30-minute kettlebell workout today. This watch was on my wrist all the way through it. That's what it's there for. It's to be used, it's to be abused, and that's why I love it. On to the next photograph. So this is the bottom right-hand corner where the altimeter button is. Again, no actual damage, just some discoloration that is completely temporary due to substance accumulation that I haven't washed off yet. Maybe I'll do a wash and show you how perfect it looks once it's had a deep clean. Okay, up on the top of the bezel, so you can see no discoloration or chipping away of the paint where it says G-Shock. You can see the accumulation of white in those corners again, where it's a mixture of what I guess is salt and suntan lotion, probably primarily salt in that area. The screen now, those in the know are aware this is a sapphire glass screen. My understanding is that virtually nothing in day-to-day life will cause this to get scratched or otherwise. It's perfect. It's probably not easy to see in this light, but it's absolutely perfect. There's nothing on there, and I'm sure I've banged and scraped the face of this watch 1,000 times, but nope, it looks good as new. So, okay, down to the illumination light. Again, fine. There's no kind of what you might term as erosion of the bobbles on that illumination light. They're all, again, as good as new. Maybe you could class that just on the bottom of that screw there. There's a little bit of a scrape. I'll give you that. Up close on the strap. I love this strap. It's the Desert Camouflage. It's super rare. It's really, really, for me, like eye-catching, but not in a garish way. It's just, you know, I've only seen one other person wear this in all my time that I've seen, been looking out for G-Shocks in public, and, you know, it's wonderful. I'm going to try and get my hand on the Rangeman that has the same strap. Again, that's quite rare, increasingly expensive. And yeah, this is why G-Shocks, if you see something that you really like and you can afford it, you should probably buy it when it comes out. Because if it's a limited edition, if it's difficult to get your hands on, you're not going to get it any cheaper than the price of them new. You can see definitely some accumulation of the salt water again in there, in that ridge. And again, a clean will fix that, but there is absolutely no there's no impact on the writing on the wristband. There's no erosion of the strap itself. The camouflage looks exactly like it did the day I got it. Superb. This is the flip side of the band. It is again, these are the holes normally where the double clasp goes into the band, and they haven't been stretched, they haven't been torn, they haven't been perished. There's, yes, a bit of discoloration. Again, a deep clean, and this would be just a uniform color as it came out the factory. Now, this one is interesting, and I wasn't expecting this. I looked as hard as I could to see any damage and scratching to the back plate of this watch, and it just isn't there. I don't know, I can't really explain how that's the case, but yeah, for all the times I've taken it off and left it by you know, on sand or in gyms or clattering around in my gym bag, things like that, it's never picked up any damage. So clearly that is a very strong back case. And then just another picture of the actual end of the camouflage strap itself. It was interesting because it shows a nice ridge at the bottom there where the clasp is encouraged to stay on, and it's just perfect. It's beautiful. It hasn't got any like badly formed elements of it. Nothing's been perishing. People sometimes talk about perishing of these straps. I personally have never seen it in 20-25 years of hardcore G-Shock ownership. I'm not sure. Maybe there's some models that are susceptible to it, but I don't think it's something that I've ever even noticed, to be honest. So yeah, that's my photographs that I wanted to share with you, and the summary is, if I probably gave this to a professional to give a deep clean, or I did it myself, I think you could virtually pass this watch off as new, because there's no fundamental issue with any of the components of it. Its clasp, its wrist strap, the screen, the bezel, even the plastic parts, incredible. The buttons, it's obviously shown mechanically it's been absolutely perfect. It's had no issues at all. I do use it, as I said, I use it a lot. I never ever take it off because I'm concerned about if I'm going to bash it up or damage it. On the contrary, I kind of look for opportunities to test these things, and as with all my G-Shocks, they've never let me down to date. But yeah, I do think that it's going to be interesting to see how long this solar battery also lasts for, because the it's shown exactly the same, like charge rate and charge length. I've noticed no difference in performance, how long it takes to charge, how long the charge lasts for. So yeah, in terms of a damage report, I guess that's quite boring, isn't it, really? No damage to speak of. I hope that is helpful, and that anyone else thinking about getting one of these is encouraged to do so based on this. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.